Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Amazing. Welcome, 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 everybody. I am joining you live from Nepal, where we just finished a clinic here. In fact, it's the first. I know Dr. Naram would see some people one by one at the hotels when we come, but this is the first clinic that I know of, ancient healing clinic, that's happened in Nepal, at least in a long time. And it's such an honor. It's such an honor today. One of the things that inspired me so much is last week on the Sunday Global Healing Miracle Call. I remember it was such a beautiful thing. We were in the home of Kamal Singhania, Tarun Singhania, Pulkit, and Neha, and just hearing miracle after miracle and asking, what has love inspired you to do? Well, little did I know that listening in London, Sangeeta was in her heart going to be inspired to get on a plane a few days later, show up in Nepal, and then host an event and then be here at the clinic. And she's going to sing a very special, beautiful number today that I'm so excited about. But I first of all want to welcome those people who I see here today. Vimla, so good to see you. Charlotte and Linda and Anne, I love seeing you here. Lawrence, my brother, my mentor, my friend, my heart. Luke, so good to see you here. Robin, very powerful to see you here. Bridget, Sue, Marianne, so good to see you. Esther, Francis, your music is with me in all these ancient temples. Lynn, so much love seeing you. Rochelle, I feel like you're still with me. I don't feel like you're halfway across the world. I feel like you're still with me so much. Bobby, welcome. So good to see you. Dan, I'm so good. Warms my heart to see you. Chris, amazing things happening for you. And I love the artwork behind you there. It's so beautiful. Elio, my brother, so good to see you. Mary Pat and Susan. Oh my goodness. There Joseph is. I love it. One of the things that I feel like made me so happy was when love inspired Joseph to maybe come on as part of our European tour. Who knows, maybe the whole tour. And so I'm excited to see what happens with that. Beverly, so good to see you. Dr. Stephen, as always.
Right.
Amazing to see you. Deb, so much love seeing you. Heidi, Heidi, so good to see you representing our circle of infinite love. Belle and Andrea and Susie, so good to see you. Giovanni Principali's on the call. Yeah, Dr. Giovanni. You know, I think we have to, Giovanni. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but one of the most exciting announcements from this week is that the audiobook in Italian with the powerful voice of Alex is now launched. It's on Audible, it's on Amazon, and Giovanni, his voice is in the audiobook. He reads his own introduction. And so Giovanni, congratulations. I'm so excited about that.
Very happy, very happy. This is a big event, big event. A lot of people are waiting for this book. Just there was a patient that she has some difficulties in vision, but she is so excited to read and to listen the book. So it's great. There is a big expectation. So congratulations to everybody that has contributed in that. First of all,
now Alex, he was gonna be on the call, but it's Easter Sunday and he's with his parents. And so we're going to have him on the call and he's going to talk about the miracles that happened for him. He's a shaman. He's a very powerful person and he knew Dr. Naram and loved him. His voice is so soothing, so calming. But he says a miracle happened as I was doing the service. I was doing it out of love, but his own life mirrored my story. And he was able to help his father bring him to Dr. Giovanni. And so many healing, beautiful things happened as a result of him doing that. So if you know anyone speaks Italian, this is a gift that will keep on giving, the gift of love, to give them this audiobook. It's so powerful and it's so soothing and so magical to hear it. And maybe we can post the links of how people can get that. But Giovanni, also, do you want to say anything about the special delicious Italian love tour that we're going to do at the end of June? with the powerful with your friends, the powerful friends that are going to help guide this experience. Basically, taking people to places, to Dr. Ram's favorite places, food, and people, and having an ancient secrets journey in Italy. And so those dates are
Yeah,
set.
so exciting, so exciting. Thank you, Clint, for joining. Obviously, being the most important part of this tour. So
Yeah.
there is two wonderful people that has created this event. They logistically they will help us to see and feel what we was doing together with Dr. Naram. So we will have the favorite pizza, we will have the favorite ice cream, but then also we will be in the atmosphere of the clinic with all the Italian people and the how you say clients and patients that are that have been together with Dr. Naram. So they will join. There are limited places, limited seats, limited possibility. There are till now 15 people can join. So we have to hurry up.
Yeah, it's true. It's a limited, and then at the same time, Giovanni, we haven't set the dates, but we're planning on going also Netherlands, Switzerland, hopefully UK, and then depending on if the book is ready in Spanish and German, maybe also some surprise visits there at some point. Jerem, so much love seeing you here. Clarice, so much love seeing you here. I don't know why, but it just feels like, what better way to celebrate Easter? Happy Easter, which is it's a day technically of one of the greatest miracles that could happen. And what a day to be on the Global Healing Miracle Call with wonderful people from literally all over the planet. Harvey, so good to see you. Oh, good. Now we started the live stream on Facebook. So officially welcoming those on Facebook. Welcome to this very powerful Easter Sunday, this Global Healing Miracle Call. I'm joining you from Nepal, where we just finished a very powerful clinic. Sangeeta, who followed the inspiration of love, last Sunday call, followed the inspiration, flew here to Nepal. First time in 3-4 years, first time she saw her nephew. And so many miracles we saw in the last few days. For years, she's been, since the 100-day course, since the 3-year practitioner training, she's been one of the most powerful forces for living abundantly. Sangeeta, I'm just talking about you. You come on the call. Amazing. She's been helping these orphan kids here. I shouldn't say orphan kids, but these kids who don't have parents. And on Nepali New Year, which was this week, you know, we've been helping them with clothes. We've been helping them with school fees. We've been helping with so much. And finally, I asked the kids, what do you want? I found out they had never been to a water park ever. And they wanted to. And so for New Year's, Sangeeta met us. It's at a place called Whoopee Land. All the names. And at Whoopee Land, it was amazing to see. First time they're going down a water slide. I didn't know, but actually we got there and I said to the mom of this orphan home, the caretaker, I says, did you remember the swimsuits? She's like, they don't have swimsuits. I was so clueless. They'd never been swimming before, so we had to buy swimsuits for them. They didn't know how to swim. And so we had to make sure we're in the, oh, Vinay, so good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. So with these kids, it was so touching. The joy and the, you know, just the stuff that I took for granted my whole life. I forgot to tell them not to drink the water though. And so some of them drank the water, but I shared in that Facebook post, one of the most touching moments wasn't the joy, wasn't the fun, wasn't the splash wars, all that stuff was awesome. But it was one time I brought this plate of grapes and water bottles so they could drink water. I was worried there wasn't gonna be enough. And sure enough, I saw the big kids come, they took handfuls and the plate was empty. And then I watched with like so much humble gratitude is the first thing they did, the big kids, was go out in the water with the little kids where they're playing and made sure everyone had grapes. And I was like, this is truly, it's I learned so much from them, and I learned it doesn't matter how little we think we have. When you share what you have with love, you're living in the miracle of abundance. And on not only this Easter Sunday, the Global Healing Miracle Experiment, but every day, whoever we are, we can share what we have with love and then see the miracle of it multiply. Multiply the joy, multiply the love. So Sangeeta, would you feel comfortable to share this song? And after maybe you can explain a little bit about this song, but it's such a perfect way for us to drop from our head to our hearts. And then right after this song, I'm gonna have Jaina and Vinay or whoever, you can take over the rest of the call so I can complete the other things I need to do. But this song, Sangeeta sang at the end of the clinic and had chills in our bodies. Some of us were in tears. Not only, I didn't know Sangeeta could sing so sweet, so powerful, so pure, but the words of this song, Sangeeta, can you explain the words of this song? Let's see, can you unmute? Oh, there we go.
So, thank you, Dr. Clint, and thank you, everyone. So, the song says, why does the flower bloom? Although it knows that it has to die one day, but still it lives with so much smile. It smiles with everybody, no matter who comes on its way. So this is a kind of a teaching and for us as well. So we have to, this body will perish one day, but not to take life seriously. So this is sung by a Buddhist nun, Nepalese nun who's been singing all over the world. Her name is Ani Choing Dolma. So her songs are all like this. So yeah.
And right before you sing, I just want to say I also see my mom on this call. And Mom, I love you so much. I want to dedicate this song to all the moms. I met Sangeeta's mom for the first time. I fell in love with her. I mean, you can imagine the woman that created and raised Sangeeta must be a very powerful heart. And she was one of the very last pulses that I took today on the Pulse Clinic. And it was amazing. In the room, Sangeeta was in tears, her mom was in tears, I was in tears at the power of that magical moment. And these words, especially on Easter Sunday, why does the flower bloom even though it knows it's going to die? And all of us, we know that we're going to die, but we can still bloom anyway. We can live so fully, and these ancient secrets is part of what helps us with that. And these miracles can come. We can live life. Dr. Naram says, what do you want? And so let that fragrance of your life shine. And in this moment, I can't wait for you to smell the fragrance, to feel the fragrance. I would invite you to close your eyes even and listen with your heart as Sangeeta sings these powerful, beautiful words.
फूल किन फुल्छ बाबै फूल किन फुल्छ थाहा नै छ उसलाई भरे मर्नु पर्छ फूल किन फुल्छ बाबै फूल किन फुल्छ थाहा नै छ उसलाई भरे मर्नु पर्छ बिहानीको मै उसले यति मिठो लिन्छ सिङ्गो जीवन फुले जस्तो यति फुलिदिन्छ बिहानीको मै उसले यति मिठो लिन्छ सिङ्गो जीवन फुले जस्तो यति फुलिदिन्छ बाँच्ने कहिले मर्छ र बाँच्ने नै त मर्छ फूल किन फुल्छ बाबै फूल किन फुल्छ लाई भरे मर्नु पर्छ भरे मर्नु पर्छ फूल किन फुल्छ बाबै फूल किन फुल्छ थाहा नै छ उसलाई भरे मर्नु पर्छ भरे मर्नु पर्छ भरे मर्नु पर्छ भरे मर्नु पर्छ
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. That was beautiful. I guess we all connected to that song and to your beautiful voice. I wonder, Sangeeta, if you want to share what made you fly over to Nepal on such a short notice. I remember last Sunday that you sent me a private message. When is the clinic happening in Nepal? And I couldn't tell you, but I had no idea that you were actually still in London at that point. And so why did you go?
So actually, the day when we spoke, you remember on the Sunday call, because we were on the call and on that particular call, Dr. Clint mentioned that we are going to have some healing sessions in Nepal and some consultation. And I asked you towards the end of the call whether if you knew when, if I wanted to book people for the consultation, how can I do that? And you mentioned I can directly message Dr. Clint. And I did message Dr. Clint and he said, yeah, that would be, I mean, there is no consultation as such at the moment, but there will be some healing sessions. That's what he replied. And the next day I woke up in the morning and the first thought in my, that came to me was, no, I need to go. So, and that kind of got so strong and I could even feel in all my cells. It's not just a thought, but it was growing stronger. And even like I'm doing my morning meditation and I couldn't that was like constantly in me. So, and I messaged Dr. Clint, this is what my thought is at the moment. And so and I really feel this is Dr. Naram who has instilled this thought in me. And I know there are challenges to that, but if he is the one who's instilled this thought in me, then he will definitely make it happen. That's what I felt and I mentioned to Dr. Clint. But I had only finished my annual leave and Monday was my first day of going back to work. And the next week, my colleague was going for a leave. So there is no way I can get a week after that. But what I felt, okay, I will just go for 4 days of bank holidays. And even that is all good for me. So that's why I asked Dr. Clint when is the clinic. And when I went to work, I spoke with my colleague and she said, I'm not doing anything, so you can take the leave. So I spoke with my manager and she happily agreed to give that leave to me. So that's how it all happened. And I know it was very short notice and the same day around like 1 o'clock in the morning, I booked my flight and so that's how I am here actually.
So beautiful. And how was it to finally reunite with your family?
Yeah, so I haven't met my brother like maybe 3 years or 4 years, but I haven't met my mother since maybe 2 years because since COVID, I haven't gone. I went to India with her, but not back home. So yeah, it is really, I really felt that I needed to be here. So that's why I'm here. So I'm so happy that I'm here. Even for a very short time. I know I'm going back on Saturday, but even that is very, special for me.
So beautiful, Sangeeta. And by the way, you got so much love here in the chat about your singing. So I will just read a few of those where they said, where is it now? Absolutely beautiful, pure divine heart song. Lovely, Sangeeta, thank you. Beautiful song. So, so touching, Sangeeta. Your voice is so pure and beautiful. Thank you. Such a beautiful, pure voice. Thank you. So you get so much love here and from our community. And what happened today during the clinic? Can you share a little bit?
Okay, so yeah, the clinic today was very special for me, and this is the first time I met Romeo, and yeah, being in his space, this is really divine, and I could feel instantly, how blessed I am to be there with him and with Dr. Clint, and yeah, I know I'm not like I don't have that experience, and I'm not of much help, but still, like that kind of that space holds everything together, and we had quite a few people for the consultations, and we had some marma sessions as well, and we also had a presentation yesterday, and that was great as well, although very few people, but it was very, very, very good. No words for that too. And yesterday, and it is even more special because I had consultation for my mom, and I just probably I can share this. This is my mom like has always been like very active and very vibrant kind of person now. And so while I came the next day, she was not feeling very bit well, but I could sense that like her energy level had gone down a little bit. More actually, a lot. I didn't expect that to happen in such short time, and then all of a sudden she started crying with me, and and like she had this problem because like when I was born, she had kind of like something, higher grade vaginal tear, because like she had home delivery, and then you don't have those equipments to help correct those, so that had remained. And because she has been working so hard, like more laborious kind of work, lifting those kind of things, so I think that made it worse. So, and because of that, her, like she feels like her uterus is coming out, and I knew this before, so that's why I arranged a consultation with Dr. Mehta, and we had some herbs for her as well. But then I think it was, but still, like, because her still, even with all those things, she is still working a lot, and I think that's why it is also not helping. So when like when she told me, and when I saw her in that way, it really felt like this is the reason I needed to be here as well, because I needed to see this. So because I didn't know Dr. Clint's pulse consultation is going to be, because it was straight after I came, and we only knew there will be healing sessions, but not as of pulse clinic yet. So out of desperation, I booked clinic with Dr. Sangeeta, which is on Thursday. But and I told that to Dr. Clint as well, and having that consultation with Dr. Clint, it is just beyond words. I cannot say enough. And
Let's rub our hands together and send Rita a blast of love. Thank you.
so I'm so grateful. I just don't have words. Like, every day I'm surrendering to whatever is happening, and I just don't have words. I'm so grateful.
Sangeeta, I don't know how many people have had a pulse reading with Dr. Clint, but those that have, I'm certain that they have experienced the exact same thing I have, and it is beyond words. It truly is. Sangeeta, thank you so much. Your presence always brings me, there's a love and a humility about your being, and it's so beautiful and pure. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so grateful that you're there for your mom. I'm so grateful that you're following your heart. Do you have anything else that you would like to share?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you is very less word. Yeah, but yeah, very, very grateful. Eternally get grateful. And I feel every day in my heart, I know it is going to take me many years for me to learn what the doctors have learned, but I'm happy to wait till the end of my life. It doesn't matter for me. Like, I'm not waiting for 3 years to finish. It can go whole my life, so I can just continue like this.
You're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Is there anybody that would like to say something at this time? Anything that Sangeeta said that sparked something in them? How she followed her heart, how she was with her family, her beautiful music. Lawrence, would you mind sharing what's on your heart in this moment?
Just watching the beauty of her soul, the innocence that it takes to live in a world that is not innocent. The joy of watching the love of her family, the miracle of synchronicities and timing. It's so inspiring. Thank you for sharing her love with us.
Thank you, Lawrence. Beautiful words, beautiful words. Charlotte, I love hearing from you. Would you mind speaking what's on your heart in this moment? Charlotte, can you unmute? Here, let me see if I can help you. There we go.
Yeah, I'm very touched by that the mom has this daughter, because my daughter died. Well, she was like in her early 60s, and it has left a big hole in my life. But she had a similar nature. And so I was feeling Nancy was very much with me.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Does this day have any special meaning for you?
I was able to do a Zoom Passover on a Friday night with my nieces and nephew, which was really a lovely gift. And one of my cousins, well, there were 20 people in person, but one of my cousins and myself were on Zoom. And we had a chance to Mark and I had a chance to talk about Nancy and how special she was, and hardly anybody talks to me, about her. So that was really special.
It sounds like it was a very special Passover, a very special conversation.
Yes.
Sounds like a very special memories.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that reflection of and what Sarita's, or I keep saying Sarita, Sangeeta, because you're going to be meeting with Sarita. But Sangeeta, her beautiful communication and song brought into your heart. Thank you so much. Jerem, would you mind sharing what's on your heart today?
So, yes, I was very inspired with Sangeeta, just sort of making that commitment and space in her life to come and be with her mom and her family, and that this was a calling for her that was, it took some effort and some courage and some steps to get there. And clearly, she went through all the barriers and the fears to create this experience that was just wonderful and opened her heart in a way that even she couldn't expect. So, and then that open-hearted space allowed that song to emerge in a most beautiful way that she gave that gift to all of us. So thank you, Sangeeta.
So Jerem, I understand that you got into a car and drove down to Salt Lake City for a pulse reading with Clint.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that same, excitement or curiosity that she might be experiencing?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I had an appointment for about a month before, and made all kinds of arrangements to get there to Salt Lake City on the planes and this and that. And it happened to snow that day. So my flights were canceled and I had to just surrender to that. And okay, well, divine timing is here. And I was really ready for this, but who knows, maybe not. And so I just kind of waited and checked in to see when the next availability would be, and nothing was happening for a while. And I think I didn't hear until probably 2 days before that Clint was having a small clinic in Salt Lake City. And I checked and there were no flights available that made sense. And I just was guided to make it a road trip. And the road trip was really pretty interesting. The stretch of snow in Idaho that was a little challenging, but I made it into sort of a little mini retreat for myself. I left very, very early in the morning before dawn. And my guidance was to do mantras. So I ended up doing mantras for about 3 hours in the beginning of the trip. And that was pretty wonderful. I'd never done anything like that before for that length of time. So anyway, and just to arrive there and experience the clinic and Clint and a lot of wonderful people there. It was just a very memorable and sweet experience, just to sort of feel the energy of the ancient secrets in that small container. And to meet Millie, Clint's mom, was quite wonderful too. And so very grateful, and grateful for the way it worked out, because I think it would have been different if the previous month's appointment would have worked out. Just this felt perfect, and I'm so grateful.
I love it. How many hours was it? How many hours of a drive was that, Jared?
The drive was 11 hours. And it was, I don't often get that expanse of time to just sort of be in my own bubble. And it was also a space in 100 days where we had a day of silence. So kind of a perfect space to be silent since I was in this vehicle driving. So it all kind of synchronized. And again, just grateful for that coming together the way it did. And I couldn't imagine it any other way from this perspective.
I love hearing your story. I remember I was in, I live in Atlanta, and I remember hearing that Dr. Clint had a pulse clinic in Miami. And I just felt this, I've got to go. But the Miami one was filled up, and he let me know that there was going to be another one. And so I got in the car and drove 10 hours to, Florida to be able to go to this pulse clinic. And I was nervous. I was, I'd never met everybody. Monica came out and greeted me. It was in Mandy's home, and just the love that just experienced in this space. And when I went into the pulse clinic, the light that was in the room, I felt like I was in another dimension almost. It was just simply amazing. And the things that were read in the pulse space were specifically and directed for me. And it was beautiful. And it wasn't always easy to hear. There are some things that I needed to hear that I needed to work on. And yet at the same time, it was a glorious, rejuvenating experience for me. So I understand, Jerem, driving that 10 hours, mine wasn't 11, but it was 10. And I drove down that day. I did stay the night and then drove home the next day. But Sangeeta, the excitement and just knowing that you've got to be there, that knowing, how many of us have acted upon that, absolute knowing and what, and just done it, just doing it because you just know that you need to do it. Belle, I see your hand up.
Well, I'm just present to, this is Dr. Naram's Unstoppable. Jerem and Sangeeta, and any number of others like you, Jana, it's like just hearing it and taking action and being unstoppable. So I'm just present to Dr. Naram. You're on this call, Unstoppable.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love that track. Thank you. Vinay, would you like to share something with us?
Of course. First of all, I would like to wish happy Easter to all my community members. And I just want to add one thing when Sangeeta was saying about it. And I just read one thing on the book, that secret to success: make your work like a prayer. Doing work you love keeps you feeling young no matter your age. So this really matters a lot, that when you work about a patient, and this is a true things for the Dr. Naram. When I was working with him, and Dr. Giovanni and Dr. Clint are the witness of it. Okay, Dr. Naram always loves the patient. The work he do. And one of the story about thing about it, whenever he always has this rule that whenever he go to any his tour, either Europe or to USA, he always go to Nepal, and then he go and he takes a blessing from his master's place, Chunchun Baba, Tyaginath Baba, and Paglanath Baba. And he, after completing the tour, he again goes to Nepal and take the blessings from him, and he respect to his lineage. That is one of the thing I like the most about the Dr. Naram. That, like Sangeeta said, he never misses out in his life. And I worked him for the last 25 years. I never seen that he miss a single time before he travel. He anytime miss to go to the Nepal, and that is really inspiration and motivation for me also, that whatever the things you do the best, always you give the gratitude to your master. You always give the gratitude to your lineage. And that is one of the things I learned the most from Dr. Naram. And of course, Dr. Giovanni is here on the call. He can tell us more about it. Dr. Giovanni, would you please come?
Yes, yes, yes. So happy Easter, Buona Pasqua to everybody. Yes, today is a special day. Special day. I got a message that this represents a moment where in our life, we have to be open to the surprise. Yeah, surprise to the impossible, that can be realized, like this special moment, no, when Jesus, what we say, no, so overcome what was something impossible to do. Yeah, and I heard the music of Sangeeta, very sweet, and I had the fortune also to listen Sangeeta directly when we was in this wonderful, amazing, mystical tour in Nepal with Dr. Clint and all the people together. And we was in at the end, at the closing ceremony of our week in Nepal, and we were sharing our feelings, we were sharing our memories, we were sharing the love, and she has been invited to sing, and she had chosen a spiritual song, but one in the group, Romeo, that is a very charismatic and social worker from Nepal. She invited her to sing a song from the Titanic movie, and so at the beginning she was a little surprised, but then she sang so with such a melody, such deep feelings and heart, that everybody was astonished and captured. And there was one phrase in the song that Romeo was sharing, that something like that we have been together, we have exchanged love, and this love will be always forever. So there was deep meaning.
So do you guys all know that song? Have you guys, I believe Celine Dion sings that song. My heart will go on and on. I think it's my heart will go on and on.
So
It's a
maybe
beautiful song.
Yeah, maybe she can sing again.
Sangeeta, I think Dr. Giovanni is asking you to sing a song. That's beautiful. So beautiful, Giovanni. Anything else you would like to share?
Yes. Nepal, yes, has been very profound trip, profound experience. As Dr. Vinay say, the Nepal has a special place in the heart of Dr. Naram, where the masters, where some of the knowledge was coming from, and so I was always very excited to go to Nepal when Dr. Naram was going. Sometimes was adventurous. Sometimes you go by helicopter and you go in some remote valley with this unstable helicopter in very high altitude, and then you go to the arrive in mystic places where you can experience also. You can experience the how you say, why Nepal is so deep, surrounded by. You have a grounding experience. Is some way you are grounded, and the other way you are brought towards the highest. And we was enjoying also. No, we was enjoying also the. How you say, also the food was in Nepal. It's some special Nepali thali. So there was a mixture of deep experience, but at the same time fully loving the moment and enjoying what was available at that moment.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What was your favorite this trip? What was the favorite thing that you experienced this trip?
So I have been very happy to see all the children. Yeah, to share happy moments with them, going to know them better, and to see also all the participants, how they was involved, how was they deeply was caring and loving, and great and wonderful how Clint has created this atmosphere of love, atmosphere of acceptance, atmosphere of transformation, and giving a lot of hope and to these children. So they was able to, how you say, express their deep wish, what they have in their heart, what they want. So this was a very important moment.
I love that. Thank you so much, Giovanni. Vinay, did you have a special moment of Nepal this trip that you wanted to share?
Yeah, of course. And before that, I just want to add one thing that one time it has happened that Dr. Naram has not got any flight, and it's a devotion and dedication toward his master. So Dr. Naram flew up to the border of the India and the Nepal, and from there he went by road, and it is almost like a one way, 10 hours to 11 hours by road. But his dedication and his devotion, and Dr. Giovanni knows about it, that he all the way he traveled by road, and you know that how the road situation from the Nepal border to actually Kathmandu, and it was amazing part. And his whole day he spent went to his master's place, and he just bowed down over there. After completing his all the procedure and rituals, then finally at around 12 midnight or beyond that, he checked out in the hotel. So this is one of the thing, and of course it was a great for me also, as Dr. Giovanni said, to be in the Nepal is like a second home for us, because we have a lot of vibration of the Dr. Naram over there. He's all the great deed he has done in the Nepal, not towards his master, but towards our kids' home, all the animal shelter. So it was a great moment, and it was something that on the emotional ground also, that for me to meet Dr. Giovanni and Dr. Clint after 2.5 years, and that was after the pandemic, and especially when Dr. Naram left us. I'm sorry to say this, but we believe like this, that Dr. Naram has left us, he's with us. So it was then when I saw Dr. Giovanni I hugged him for the 5 minutes without saying anything. We just hugged to each other because it was something like that. I have no words to describe about it because that was a joy also, and that was a something that we telling each other by hugging that we are there for each other. Of course, I met Dr. Clint before that when I was in the USA, but again to meet Dr. Clint in Nepal, that was something beyond the feeling of the joy, but it was, I was telling Dr. Clint, thank you very much for inviting me this mystical Nepal to. It was something I really thankful to Dr. Clint and Dr. Juan in the whole tour. Thank you so much.
I think it's amazing, what Dr. Giovanni was saying about Dr. Clint creating this incredible atmosphere, this incredible community, and the love that you express, Vinay, when you hug Dr. Giovanni. I'm sure it's just amazing. But I assume that the people who were in India, for those of you who went to India and have found those connections of love, was there something that you guys would like to share? Something that you would like to express? Would love to hear from you and your experience and the connections. Please unmute. I believe Rochelle might be on the call. Rochelle, would you like to share?
Hi, yes. I'm just sitting here reflecting so deeply at the amount of love, first of all, that's on this call and that you share with everybody, Jaina. It's so, so touching and so wonderful. And how absolutely blessed I feel, and I think all of us feel. I don't want to speak for everybody, but we are so moved by the love that wraps us up while we are here. Everyone at the clinic, all of the Vaidyas, Vinay, Dr. Giovanni, everybody that has led the education part and that we are all involved with are just so honored, and we can feel their honoring towards us, and they're taking care of us with such tremendous care, and every little concern we might have is absolutely erased, and we are just so beautifully embraced by this. It's bigger, it feels bigger than a community. It feels like a tradition. It feels like a movement. It feels like this amazing essence of just being in this family. It's a family. And I mean, I have come to tears more than one time because I just feel so overwhelmed with how much we are taken care of and how much love we receive while we are here. And if only we can give back a little of that, we will make the world a better place, I think. Yeah. So many examples of this tremendous caring that comes from them. And Dr. Giovanni is so cute and so funny with the way he delivers information and the love that he shares and the energy that he has. And Vinay, oh my gosh, he is there all the time. You turn around and there he is. And you think he's going home. And when you get done doing whatever you're doing, there he is again. And he's taking care of every little tiny minute detail of every bit of the management, everything that we're doing. And it's all behind the scenes done lovingly. And we can feel that. And it's so appreciated and so revered. And we are so grateful. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm just basking in it because I just feel like it is what this lineage brings. What Vinay was talking about, the devotion that Dr. Naram had to his master, to the point where, when flights were not available, that he flew to the border of Nepal and India, got into a vehicle and drove the 10, the 11 hours like me and Jerem, to be able to see the master, to be able to, be in that devotion, to be, in that respect, and the love that comes through, Dr. Giovanni, through the lineage, through Dr. Vinay, and through Dr. Smita, through all of Ayashakti, through Dr. Clint. It's amazing. I remember the very first day of the 100-day training course, and I got to see all, like you guys all who have been through it, saw all of the Vaidyas and Dr. Smita all in their whites. And they were all in the squares on the screen, because that's how we are, how we see it. And the power that came through was so amazing. It's not an ego power. It was a very spiritual, loving radiance that was, I just knew I was in the right spot, that this was exactly my path, and that I knew that the challenges that I had faced would, if I followed the system, would be dissolved. Because love is the leader. So beautiful. Anything else,
Yeah.
Rochelle?
Something that just comes to me, and that is that Dr. Naram always said to give, 100% or even 1,000%. And every single person here in India has done just that. And I'm not talking about the students, I'm talking about the staff and, the doctors and the Vaidyas and everybody who is a part of our program. You can see how much it means to them to make sure we get more than what we have invested. And it feels like everything that we have experienced is so far above what we have invested. I just really encourage everyone for the next time around to save everything that you can to get here, because it is so invaluable. And, we're doing everything that we can to spread this information to everyone, that's in the 3-year path, because it's so important. And we want you all to feel that we are embracing you as well. But being here makes it different. Being here feels different, and we want you to feel that also. Yeah.
Oh, I love seeing the love that you have between each other.
Yeah.
The connection. I mean, very similar to when Giovanni and Vinay met in Nepal this time, with that deep hug and that deep love and that deep connection. And it was evident, just even on the screen in the calls, and it's just evident as the interactions, are with you guys. I would like to ask what your experience is, your personal experience about your healing process with Panchakarma and other. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's, I think most of us sort of hear these words and don't really understand at all what it is, And so when we came here, we see all these Sanskrit words describing our treatments, and, we don't know what they mean, and it's kind of funny to even see the words and wonder, and then you get immersed in the middle of it. And like so many have said in the past, that first of all, you find out what is really happening within your physical body in the deepest way, which for me, I mean, I've always thought I was very healthy and have taken care of myself in a significant way. So my purpose of coming was to experience this so that I could describe it to my clients and encourage them to become involved with it, right? But what I found out was I had some underlying health situations that were just kind of trying to sneak in, but because I was able to find out about them earlier, rather than later, we kick them out before they get a good hold, right? And that's what Panchakarma can really do. And from a practical standpoint, we are having 6 treatments a day. And so if anybody mentions oil all over your body again, I feel like, no, please, just no more oil, because we're literally dripping in oil most of the day, every day. And at the same time, we know that the oil is infused with herbs so that it's our body is absorbing it, and they're oiling us on the inside and they're oiling us on the outside, and you can imagine the ways that might happen. And they call them cute little names like Basti and and those kinds of things, so you don't really understand what it is, and then they surprise you initially. When we first were learning about it, it's a surprise. And I'll not go into the details, but those of you who understand will get it. And yeah, so my health has improved dramatically. I wasn't on a weight loss program, but in this world, I've lost 6.5 kilos. In our world, in the US, that's 13 pounds. So that was not a desire, but that is what has happened. And what are we, like 3 weeks in, only 2 weeks into the treatment, but 3 weeks into the stay. And so we still have 2 weeks going. And yeah, I mean, some of the things that I've noticed, for example, my eyes were getting more narrow and more narrow and more narrow. And I think that was because my vision was deteriorating. So I was trying to compensate by squeezing my eyes together. And now I'm noticing that they're more open. And I mean, I'm seeing everyone here, not clearly, but almost clearly, which before I wasn't able to see at all. And I would always wear my glasses. So my vision is improving. That's something that I've noticed significantly. From my own personal standpoint, I didn't really have pain before, so I'm not measuring it on a pain level, but a sense of energy level. My energy is elevating, and my desire for food that crunches is elevating, because we get to just eat mushy food, but we're getting used to that too. And oh my gosh, the food is that is prepared. The chefs from Ayush Shakti came. We're all staying in a hotel, so the chefs from Ayush Shakti came and taught the chefs at the hotel how to cook the Ayush Shakti food. So most days the food here is as good as at Ayush Shakti, and we're so blessed. Again, this is another 100% kind of thing. They took it upon themselves to come over here and make sure that everything was cooked well. And I have to say that there were days that it wasn't. And so of course we were complaining about it, which isn't the best thing, but that's what happened. And so the chefs came again and again. They've repeatedly come over to teach the chefs at the hotel again how to make the food, again how to, create some diversity in the food that we're eating, so that we are having a positive experience. And I can hardly wait to chew on something, but besides that, it's really lovely.
Well, Rochelle, you seem very grounded and very
Thank
at
you.
peace inside of your soul. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I know there's
Yeah.
a couple more of us on here. Gidry, do you
Yeah,
want to come
I think
on?
Arati is
Oh
on the
yeah,
call.
Roddy's there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also see Jill, who just got back from Nepal, which I would like to hear from as well.
Yeah,
Thank you so
so
much, Jana.
Yes. So thank you so much, Rochelle. Blessings while you're there.
hello
right.
everybody. I don't want to make it too long, but just to add to Rochelle's positive experience here, and I'm really thrilled that her eyes improved so much that she can really considerably feel the difference. That is amazing. And for my benefit on my health aspect is, I mean, apart from everything else which Rochelle already mentioned, and I 100% really would say I agree with what she said. She really beautifully said that. I just don't want to make it too long, but I'm one who suffered from tremor. And since my age 25, I had a tremor. And when I was sitting here in class, people were tapping on my shoulder and they were like, "You're shaking." And I did not notice that I was shaking. And they said, maybe it's the AC, but you're shaking. And do you have Alzheimer? They asked me. And I was like, not that I know of, but I know that I have a tremor. But I've tried allopathic medicine and never helped. And I've been a physician for 30 years, and it really affected my job because my hands were shaking like this type. On days when I was under stress, I was shaking like this. It was very hard to hold a surgical instrument and do surgery and things like that. Just 4 days out into Panchakarma, my tremor reduced to a minimum. And I don't know if you can see it, but I don't have a visible tremor.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. So I'm really blessed. And for whatever I had to sacrifice to come here, I mean, that was the absolute reward for everything. So I can only say thank you, heaven, for everything that I've experienced here.
Oh, Arti, that's so beautiful. Thank
So
you so much for sharing from your heart. You
I
know,
wish,
and that's
I wish for everyone that you all could come down here and see it by yourself, you know, experience it yourself. And I must say thank you to Vinay. He's just an incredible soul in this place. And I think without him, can't imagine the place without him. And also Dr. Hemang, I mean, they are just there all the time. Dr. Giovanni, it's great that he's here on board. I wish you all a happy Easter.
Thank you. Thank you. I see that David is here. David, thank you so much.
You're
David,
welcome.
would you like to share with us?
Yes, I'm also at the Panchakarma treatment. Hello, Rochelle. To include for everybody, I make the experience that since I started the process, all my past is just re-experience. So all my drama, my childhood, so much memories came up, and even through the process about the Panchakarma, I get help from the people, like inside, outside, from each corner. I just asked this doctor, this doctor. I asked Rochelle, and I get from every side. I got help. So this was not a point for me falling backwards. Since I'm here, I'm always falling forwards. And this is like very amazing. This community and everything is very empowering for me.
Well, I loved seeing your interaction with the people of the group. And I believe you had a treatment done. Did you have a treatment done in one of the demonstrations?
Which you mean?
I'm trying to remember if it was like a Panchakarma. Did you have a Panchakarma done when they were doing the class? No?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
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 Yes, you
And they
did the
were-
bending down, and then you could bend further down the next time.
Yes, it was the
after.
mama. Yes, it was the yeah. The what do you want for life? This was a special treatment. It was very powerful. I afterwards during the live call, during this moment, I could feel all the energy in the room lifting. And then even on Zoom, I even didn't know, but this time there are people online, but I could feel the energy is lifting around this area from the hotel. So, and then, yeah, Clint was starting to prepare myself. And I could feel it. I could feel the picture quite clear. And when I was walking, I felt like a bit dizzy, and I need to be very focused how to walk right and slowly. And this was a very impression for myself experience. that so much power can be related to such a simple group and such a simple mama. So yeah, points.
It was wonderful to watch. There's just so much love and curiosity and exploration that was happening as I was watching the videos. Of course, I wasn't there, but and what I hear from the people, I don't know if you guys are hearing this when they're speaking their experience. This is real. You know, so many times we just hear these little stories and, you know, it's a possibility, but this is real healing taking place. You know, Rochelle, who thought she was in great shape and great health, and she is for the most part, but she's had more healing. You know, Artie, who, you know, had a tremor, didn't think anything of it, and the tremor was healing. I mean, David, you know, the experience of, you know, the marma and the childhood issues and things, memories that come up when you're going through this experience. You know, this is, you know, the body does hold on to memories in the body, or memories of the past that, you know, because what Dr. Naram always says, that 90% of disease is from unresolved emotion and childhood trauma. So of course, when you're going through the panchakarma, you're going through the marmas, when you're going through that healing process, those memories are going to be coming up to be resolved, to be healed. And you know what, I am not even in the panchakarma. I am just reading the book, doing the training, doing the marma points, and it comes up for me on a day-to-day basis. You know, I face that those childhood issues and trauma, and I work through them, you know, and thank goodness for these principles. The what do you want is so powerful, as David was expressing. The Aditi Devo Bhawa gives such a powerful way to be able to, when those unexpected, undesirable things come, to be able to give us a vehicle to move through those challenges, to be able to see that these are divine, that they are here to help us grow and be more in alignment with our authentic self. And then the gratitude, I believe, is like the vehicle. It is like that sports car that when we express the gratitude for what we have, it just like takes us off. It just like puts us on the Autobahn, you know, it just revs us up to be able to move through all of that muck and mire and challenge. I don't know if anybody else would like to speak to anything like this. If you have something, please unmute and just say something.
Hi, Jana. Namaskar, everyone. I love when you share. My God, you always touch my spirit. You're so beautiful. It has been my good fortune to participate in the external panchakarma. I was not allowed to participate in internal panchakarma because of my colon. It's stretched and twisted. And so I, you know, kind of begged Dr. Priyanka, surely I could do something. She's like, no, you're not ready. So I have to spend the rest of the year preparing my colon for panchakarma by abstaining from gluten filled items, dairy and sugar, which I can tell you will be very challenging for me because it's almost, I have this sugar addiction. So it might take a year and a half or two for me to be able to do internal panchakarma. However, I was able to do external, and I'll tell you something. One of the treatments I had was Shirodhara, where the oil is dripped, I guess you could say, on the third eye. Well, there's nothing I've ever done in my life that's been so grounding. I remember coming out of the second treatment feeling as if I had been firmly planted on solid ground. And I noticed getting back home, I have this deep need to repair any unresolved issues, you know, to clean up whatever. If I offended, please forgive me. If you offended, don't worry about it. I don't even remember it. Let's move on. Yeah, such a deep need to do a lot of house cleaning. So if some of you, if I offended, my forgiveness, I beg forgiveness, please. And let's move on from whatever issues there may be. There's so much more important things to take care of in the world, you know? And I cannot speak more highly about the staff at the Ayurshakti clinic. From even the lady that sells the flowers at the front gate to the security guards, to everybody. They are part of the treatment too. From the moment you enter that space, it is just a wonderful place to be and to experience. I wish each of you get the opportunity to visit the clinic at least once in your lifetime. You will come away feeling as if you were held by our Heavenly Father and cared for. And that's what I felt leaving there. I must say my mind is still there in Mumbai. My body's here in New York. I look forward to returning again and again. And I just want to say, Dr. Giovanni, you are cute and you are a lot of fun. Vinay, you're awesome. Dr. Hemang must have a twin, because no matter what time of the night or day, he was there on the phone doing something. And it's like, I don't think this guy ever gets to sleep, you know? So hopefully they're getting some rest and they are able to care for themselves at this point. So thank you again, everybody. I love you.
Oh, Andrea, I love it when you share. I just adore you. Thank you so much. So blessed to have you here in this community on so many leadership teams, and I love your heart. Thank you. Jill, are you still with us? Yes, you are. Would you like to share?
I will, a little. As you can tell, I have an interesting voice. And I appear to, the friend who I went to Frankfurt with, who went for some chemotherapy treatment, I kept her company. And in return, she very kindly gifted me her cold, which seems to have really taking its having its fun with me. And it was interesting because I wasn't going to come on the call. I was listening to it on Facebook. And I thought, you know, there's so much love in the group. I actually want to be on the call. But it's interesting because I do feel this cold is definitely been a very unexpected guest. And I've realized that it's actually making me stop. Because I came back from Nepal, and a week afterwards, I was turning around to go off to Frankfurt. I didn't actually think she'd say, yes, Jill, I'd love you to come with me. So I had to turn everything around and cancel everything, which was fine because I didn't want her to be on her own. But the cold has certainly stopped me in my tracks because I feel as though, I think I was saying to Jana, I feel as I have an elephant sitting on my chest. I have no idea what an elephant actually feels like, but that's, if I felt like that, it feels like I have something very heavy on my chest. For me, with the Nepal trip, especially the week with Dr. Clint and the doctors was so magical. It was so filled with love. And I can see it rolled over definitely into India. We just felt very blessed to have them, you know, for us all to be together. And I felt very cared for and loved, and I hoped I was able to offer that to those as well. And the experience for the children was so magical. You know, I've heard people saying you feel as though you're going to go there and offer them love, but actually they offer it to you. It's like they're healing parts of you, which just feels very special. And I've talked again without coughing, which is really surprising because I've been permanently coughing.
But you've also been taking the immunity tea.
I have, and the for fever with cough, because I could tell that I was a little bit hot, because you know when your eyelids go hot, I could feel I was getting very hot, and I've been taking Biophyte and vitamin C and zinc and you name it. I think I'm rattling and just drinking, and I suddenly read that if you do for fever, you shouldn't eat. And I'd already made mung bean soup. I forced myself to make some. I thought, I can't give that up because I've just made it. So, but yeah, I think this is a time for me to be quiet for a little while, and allow this to work its way through, which I hope is soon.
Jill, I just really appreciate you being here, even in the state that you are, because first of all, you experienced this magical thing, you know, personal, you know, when you first got to Nepal, the personal challenges, the things that you faced, you know, knowing that you needed to be there, asking for crowdfunding to be able to support your efforts of going to Nepal, knowing that it was part of your journey to go because of Denny. Yeah. And then when you're getting there, facing fears, riding on the back of motorbikes and going parasailing, paragliding, and being able to meet up with the people that you didn't know before, that you do know now very well. And so facing those fears and then experiencing with the group the beautiful sights of Nepal and the sacred places at Dr. Naram.
Yeah.
And then also going to the orphanage and being able to interact with those beautiful children, and being able to leave a picture of Denny, on the wall of the orphanage. It was just such a beautiful, it was so fun to watch the Facebook lives and to be able to travel with you. And I attest to Jill's coughing, because this morning she left me a voice message, several, and each one, it was difficult to hear, she just would continue to cough. And, I sent her the immunity tea, and I knew that if she took it, which she showed me a picture of her making it, that the cough would be contained. And look, you are evidence that the remedies, the home remedies work. They do. And you may not be feeling the greatest, but I'm so grateful that you are here and sharing, all of you. So vulnerably, so full of love.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing that about my journey, because it really was stepping up and saying yes. There wasn't, no was a banned word. I think Spirit decided you're not going to use the word no. And I literally said yes, absolutely shaking like a leaf with some of the things, but I said yes. And I seemed to do a lot more meditating, and everything seemed to open me up more and more, and it's like layers were just shedding away. And I had a whole morning where I was crying, and because I'd woken up feeling very alone, and I was surrounded with beautiful people, but it was that emotion that came up. And once I'd got over myself and my ego, I'd put it to sleep, and I just said to people, take no notice, I'm crying. So I had a lot of hugs on the way, and I just let it work its way through. And it was a bit inconvenient, I have to say. Excuse me. But someone just said, have I got ivermectin? Yes, I have. and I've been taking it. Listen, I think I've been taking everything possible. I just hope my body doesn't go, what are you doing? But yes, everything about the run up to Nepal and Nepal and coming home has just been extraordinary. I mean, there's a large part of my heart in Nepal. I so want to be there. But I know it's not quite the right time. I'm being told that, so that's fine. I don't know, I just feel I have things to do in Nepal more than I've done, but I'm not being shown what that is yet. I think it's just allowing everything to process, and my energy has shifted so much. I think this making me be still is allowing it all to maybe settle. I don't know.
I always believe that there's a blessing whenever the body gets sick. I just do. I just think that it's a way for the body to get stronger. So that may be.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
I always feel a cold is a blessing because it helps. To me, it's part of a clearing. You might not feel it's a blessing when you're in it and feeling quite yuck, but I do believe that it is a blessing.
I do. I love that you speak to when you were away, the emotions that come up, because I don't know about all of you world travelers, but when I have traveled, when I went to Europe, when I went to China, I mean, there were days where those emotions come up and you do feel alone, or, you know, whatever you're battling. And, you know, as you just stay with them and be with them, then they move on through. Does anybody have anything else they would like to share regarding that or anything?
Can I just quickly say that
Yes.
although I never met Dr. Naram, I feel very connected to him. And hi, Clint. And I think that's probably one of the reasons I want to be back in Nepal. I don't know, but I just felt him around Clint and Dr. Giovanni and Renee. I just felt the energy around them, which was just magical.
Well, you definitely had a magical experience, and I'm so grateful for the little messages I got here and there from you. So thank you so much. Dr. Clint, hello, hello.
Beautiful people, chill, man. I mean, woman. I mean, divine goddess, whatever. It's so good to hear your voice. And yeah, I know that I get some kind of a cough, cold, or anything. I get excited about it now because I'm so curious. Oh, what am I going to learn from the ancient secrets that's going to help in this circumstance? And sending you so much love.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I got to hear. Oh, but I don't know. Lawrence, did you get a chance to share anything? I don't know if you have anything in your heart, Lawrence. I know even that week that Cole spoke, I really wish you could have shared at that point, but I don't know if there's anything in your heart you have to share today.
I just feel blessed that Passover and Easter are coming out at the same time. I get to be my wonderful Jewish self and my love for Jesus at the same time, bringing both worlds together. As you're bringing all these worlds together, it's just such a good time to be on the planet. There's so much love and caring and sharing. And the focus that you bring is beyond heart's message that I could share. Miss you a lot and looking forward to, hopefully you'll be able to come visit in June for my birthday still. We'll see what happens. And just the community that you have shared your heart and soul with is touching me so deeply. I feel so blessed to get to experience all the well-being that you're bringing and they're bringing to each other and with yourself. Sending a big hug.
So beautiful. Happy Passover, happy Easter. And it's so true that it's like so many communities are being brought together. Yesterday was Hanuman Jante, which I never knew about, but it's birthday of Hanuman. And then today at the clinic, I got this gift from Romeo. We actually did the clinic at his home, which is a beautiful place. And at it, he gave me this thing that he painted, which is the medicine Buddha. It's actually, it says that it's this whole beautiful, I don't know if you can see this, but you put it up in the room of any healer, and it has with it like this whole conglomeration of people and the herbs and the divine ancient healing method, power, even bring.
Oh goodness, I think we lost him, but the picture was sure beautiful. The Romeo's painting was beautiful. Joseph, it says Susan, but it's Joseph, would you like to share?
Yes, thank you. Namaskar, everyone. I just was thinking what's in my heart when you were asking questions earlier, and what has come to me is the amazing confluence when Easter and Passover come together. And Clint was mentioning the miracle that Easter represents, and Passover is also represents miracles. It also represents freedom and escaping from our own slavery, or what we are enslaved by, or what we enslave ourselves to. And then the additional confluence of people sharing their pachkarma, and how that is a miracle of freedom, that people are able to release such things as a tremor that has been virtually lifelong, or a disease that is either active or perhaps smoldering and imminent to come forth. And we, to a degree, are enslaved by what I love to refer to as our domestication, how we were raised. And when Dr. Naram talks about most everything is the result of our childhood traumas, or what we may not even see as traumas, but just our childhoods and the way that we were indoctrinated into our families, into society, into our worlds of advertising or whatever. Those things enslave us. And this time of year is potentially a time when we can free ourselves from all those things that enslave us, either consciously or subconsciously. And it's just been wonderful to listen to all these things that the community is experiencing, but it's also possible that when the collective is going through this together with so many people on the planet during this time, that it's hopeful for the potential of change, of real change, of miracles, of a chance to elevate ourselves above that which entraps us and ensnares us into the, as I think Jill said, what's not important, the levels of interaction of personality, of did I offend you? You offended me. Those things are so minor in the big picture of where we are all intending to elevate ourselves to. So just wanted to share that, and thank you.
Such great words of wisdom. I feel it in my soul. Such a great reflection and connection with every one who's spoken. It's beautiful, Joseph. Thank you so much for sharing. It is, I'm sorry, the thought just went out of my head. I had it and it's gone. Thank you. Sangeeta has agreed to sing another song. I'm thrilled. So Giovanni, thank you for inspiring her to sing another song for us. So would you like to do that now, Sangeeta?
Thank you, Jenna. So, so the song is, I'm not very good with the translation, but I will try. It says, to know or to understand is not to see anybody as other, to see everyone as the part of you or as you. So that is what the song says. So, and this song is also by Anita Indorma. जान्नु भनेको के हो बाबा, बुझ्नु भनेको के, कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्ने, कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले, दुःख दुःख किन भन्छौँ हामी, दुःख कहाँ छ र खै, बत्तीको आँखाले हेरे छैन अँध्यारो है, दुःख दुःख किन भन्छौँ हामी, दुःख कहाँ छ र खै, बत्तीको आँखाले हेरे छैन अँध्यारो है, आऊ हामी आफू देखौँ सबभन्दा पहिले, कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले, कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले, प्रेम दान हो पावन पानी, मनको क्लेश धुने, प्रेम दिनै पनि भने बाबा किन कंजूस हुने, प्रेम दान हो पावन पानी, मनको क्लेश धुने, प्रेम दिनै पनि भने बाबा किन कन्जुस हुने आफू पाउँछ आफै भित्र यसमा जुट्नेले कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले जान्नु भनेको के हो बाबा बुझ्नु भनेको के कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले
Sangeeta, that is so beautiful. Just sending you a blast of love. I don't know if you guys saw and felt, I bet you did, the heartfelt connection that she had with the song, with her soul, with the divine. It was beautiful. And for those of you who are singers, know that a cappella is not always the most kind to you because you stay on a key. She was on key. She was on key, which is beautiful. A lot of times people rely on the instruments to keep them on key. She is truly, this gift that she has truly comes from her heart. Sangeeta, thank you so much. Would like to do breakout rooms right now. And I think Cornelia is getting them ready. And would like to ask you, what is on your heart today? Is love guiding you to something? Truly just speak from your heart. This has been such a beautiful call. Thank you to every single person who's participated. Thank you to all of those who have come into the room, the Zoom room, to those who have seen this on Facebook Live, and also those who will see the recording in the future. Thank you so much to everyone. Cornelia, are the breakout rooms ready?
Yes, they are ready, but we have somebody who raised her hand, Marissa.
Oh.
Can you please speak? Unmute yourself.
Good morning, everybody, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I do have to get going to my Easter dinner at my sister's, so I can't join the breakout rooms, but something is on my heart for all of us. I indulged in my coffee this morning a little bit longer, and that's why I was late to the call. And as I was getting ready in my bathroom, one of the lights, of which two hang in front of the mirror, was flickering like crazy. And I was like, oh, and I know what that means throughout my whole life. When lights flicker, angels, spirits, guidance. And I looked at the time and it was, past the call. And I hurried up and I got the sweater on and I came and I came on. And as my screen opened up, I saw all of your faces. And I don't know if you've ever entered a room where you may not know anyone in the room, but for some reason, it feels like heaven, that you have entered your heaven on earth. And I don't know any of you. I know you because of the global call. And so when I see you, I see me. I see source. I see our heaven on earth that we have created. And I'm visibly shaking right now. I'm not sure why. I think my heart is exploding inside. And I just want to say how much I appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. We are all pulled here on Sundays by spirit. This is our journey. We are here to be the patient. We are here to be the healer. And just as it is Easter, we are all rising to this occasion of healing this world and healing ourselves is the most important part. So I just want to say thank you so much. And currently I'm enrolled in IIN, the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. It's the world's largest nutrition school, and I'm almost done. I have 2 more weeks left. And this, what I'm going to share with the world is this. This is what it all comes down to, is the Ayurvedic, is the pulse readings. And I hope to be in Nepal someday to do the 3-year course. My time is not now. Later on, I know it will be. And one of the things that my schooling has taught me is that there's 3 aspects to healing: the belief in the patient, the belief in the healer, and the karma between the two. So the relationship between the two. And this here, this global call, Dr. Giovanni, Dr. Clint, who I got to meet back in December at my sister's wedding, and I'm now part of the first coil group ever created. It is all rings true. So every part of my life, my schooling, the steps I walk through my day, it's all part of it. So I just want to say thank you. And to end this, because I do have to go, I wanted to show you, I didn't want to come on the call to do this, but I wanted to remind you all to have fun in your life. And this is what I wear on Easter. And I go surprise my nieces and I run around in the backyard and I pretend I'm the Easter bunny. So I'm going to go have some fun. I'm going to carry all of you with me today. Love, the healing, and the adventure in this life. So I want to thank you all so much for being right here with me always.
Thank you. Let's send her a blast of love, please. Thank you so much for.
Thank you.
Beautiful words. Thank you.
Have a blessed Easter, everybody.
You too, and have fun.
Thank you,
Easter bunny.
It's a full costume, and it even has a little tail. Mwah.
Thank you, Marissa, for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's getting late, but we want to go on in the breakout rooms, but Lucas still has his hand raised, so I don't want to.
Yes, Luke.
I'll be very short because I know we want to go into breakout rooms, but when I heard Marissa speak, it's what I am feeling. I just had to express my love and appreciation for what we have here. My heart is just bursting, just like she said. I've been doing self-healing during this entire call because there are things that I'm working on with marmas and light, according to Dr. Stevens' spinal meditation, constantly. And I could just feel my body filling up with light and love. And when Sangeeta was singing, I went into this deep meditation and I was just transported to another place. And the love that I'm feeling right now, I really don't even have words to express. I'm trying to express it, but it doesn't come close to what I'm actually feeling and the appreciation for what we have here. And I just want to say thank you so much. And my entire life, I've always wanted to go to Nepal. and I haven't made it there yet. And with all the talk about Nepal, I feel very, very inspired to make sure I get there within the next year. So I just want to put forth my love and appreciation for what we have here. And Sangeeta, thank you for your beautiful, mesmerizing singing. It literally transported me to a place that I have no words to express. And the self-healing, it makes me know that we don't have to depend on what an allopathic physician is telling us to do, that our healing is in our own hands and our own abilities. Because we're all feeling it. I'm feeling tremendous, tremendous healing taking place. And I've only been in this community a little over 2 months. And already what's taking place within me with everything I'm doing is extraordinary. We don't have to rely, I guess we have to rely on allopathic physicians for surgeries and so forth when those things occur. But the things that we think we need to rely on, we have this self-healing that we can do now with everything we're learning. Anyway, I just wanted to express my heart. I'm feeling so much, and thank you so much, and blessings to everybody.
Luke, I love it when you share. Thank you so much. Your enthusiasm for this community and the love that you bring into this community is really incredible. You just wrapped your hands around every little bit that you could get your hands on with what Dr. Naram's teachings have had to offer. It's so wonderful to watch. I love your enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Ramarishi, would you like to say something?
Yes, I would. You know, this call is the highlight of our entire week. We look forward to it all week long, waiting for Sunday to get on this call because it gives us just infinite spiritual nourishment. And we feel such a part of this family. And unfortunately, this morning, we overslept. I couldn't believe it. I forgot it was Sunday. And as soon as I woke up, I checked my phone and Luke had sent me a message saying that he was sorry that we weren't on the call and there was still another hour left. And it was just one more sign of how connected we all are, that Luke was concerned that we weren't on the call. And he took the time to make sure that we knew there was another 1 hour left, which is why we're on right now. And when Jill was speaking, I could really relate because we just got back, we got back about a week and a half ago from a trip to Oregon. And when we got back, we tested positive for COVID, probably the BA2 variant, which is very transmissible. And a lot of people are getting now. And so for the last, actually, it's been almost 3 weeks that we've been treating it as the unexpected guest and dealing with it. And we were not getting better. As of about 4 or 5 days ago, well, maybe 4 days ago, I felt actually we were getting worse. And Tara was coughing a lot and very, very deeply, sometimes for 20 minutes or a half an hour. And so I contacted our friend in the group, Savitri, who we've known for 35 years, and she called Dr. Wexler. And she left him a voice message, and he got back to her right away, like within 5 minutes, which reminded me of Elio. When Elio was having a health crisis, he sent out 4 emails to 4 different doctors, and he told his wife, Dr. Wexler will be the first one who replies, which was true. And so Dr. Wexler called Savitri back, and he said, we will take care of it. And then we spoke to Dr. Wexler, and he said, I'm sending out today via FedEx the COVID pack, the Ayush Shakti COVID pack or kit. And he said, people who take this recover in 4 days. And he's seen it with so many people. And then when we spoke to Savitri, she said, this community is just so amazing. I'm so grateful that you introduced me to it, because I've been searching for this my entire life. I feel that this community is what I've been praying for. And I am so grateful to be now part of this loving community all over the world. So I just wanted to say that we feel the same way. I know all of you feel the same way, or you wouldn't even be on the call. So we are just blessed, truly blessed, to have found this Ancient Secrets loving community. Thank you to all of you. And of course, thank you to Jana and Cornelia and Carol and all those who make this possible. Namaste.
Namaste. So grateful that you're getting better. I'm so grateful. Wow, what a powerful testimony regarding the Aya Shakti kit and of course his community. Love Savitri. It's beautiful, beautiful soul. And Luke, thank you for the text of texting Ramarishi so he could be on the call.
And Tara.
And Tara, I adore.
Dana, can we send love to them?
Yes, let's send love. And then I want to hear from Giovanni. And sending love. Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Dr. Giovanni, did you have something you'd like to share?
Yeah, yes. So there has been so many interesting events today. Yeah. So we have a beautiful song, and we could have the bees, yeah, from this wonderful singer, and the wonderful sharing from the people that has been in Nepal, and yeah, they are doing panchakarma. It's very interesting, panchakarma. Panchakarma, I have done some panchakarma, and it is very good for removing the blocks. I remember there was one psychologist that was going through the process of panchakarma, and suddenly she remembered a very remote episode that was very deep in his memory, very deep in his heart, when she remembered that she was burned when she was about 3 years. At the age of 3, she got burned, and so the parents brought her to the hospital, and she, as a small child, she was having this feeling of to be abandoned by the parents, and these feelings was underlying and guiding some of her behavior. And so after remembering that came clearly to her memory during the panchakarma, so she was able to elaborate, to forget, to forgive the parents, and then go ahead, and so leave a burden that she was not having, but not knowing that was coming from that episode. So panchakarma is really something very deep, and yes, as I say, you should experience. It's like when you bring the car to the garage and they make you new, all new organs, all new, and you come out fresh and new.
Oh, I love that, Giovanni. I love that car analogy. But when you were speaking, it reminded me of It reminded me of my mom. My mother, when she was 2 years old, was in a baby swing next to a stove, and they were canning. So there was boiling water next to her, and her brother and sister were playing, and the water tipped and scalded my mother. And it truly has affected her on a very deep level for years and years and years. You know, she doesn't like to shower, you know, long time. She doesn't like to swim, you know, because the water. And if you can imagine being, you know, like that girl that you just were talking about, the burning, you know, being touched and the pain that exists, and that, you know, not understanding, you know, not being able to understand what was happening and why you were experiencing what you're experiencing. So I love hearing the fact that the Panchakarma was able to release this girl's memories or you know, trauma from her burn. It just, you know, it just shows of such powerful medicine that that exists in this lineage, in these ancient secrets. It's absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you. Thank you for, yes, connecting with your mommy and your experience. Sending love.
Thank you. I just don't think that we understand, you know, a lot of times we say, oh, this person has Lyme's disease, or this person has this, or this person has that, and they don't understand the depth that it goes, you know, and, you know, it has affected people on such deep, deep levels. And so the healing that happens is tremendous. You know, when somebody says, I think, you know, it was Millie that was saying, you know, after eating the mung bean soup, after Louisa had said that, you know, her knees had been hurting and she took the remedy and was eating mung beans, and Millie took it and her knees were not hurting anymore. I mean, it's just the suffering that has happened in a body. And when we apply these ancient wisdoms, it makes a huge difference. And it's beautiful to be able to watch the healing, you know, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. It's just incredible. So Giovanni, thank you for being a holder of the light. Thank you for being a holder of the keys of these wisdom, this ancient wisdom. So thank you.
All holding the light.
We are all holding the light. And that's what I see, is that seeing these people in India meet, it's almost like you guys are holding, you know, you're each holding a candle, and you're lighting the candle to illuminate this big room of bright light, and it's just spreading upon the world. It's just being able to see you guys being embodied with each other is just really deepened and anchored, you know, more of the love and more of the healing, more of the truth of what this has to offer for the world. It's absolutely incredible. Esther, would you like to say something?
I would, because Dr. Giovanni, you spoke of the removal of the obstacles. And since this is about Nepal, I feel like I just have to share an experience that I had there late in the 80s, riding on an elephant, my son and I, and we're going through the Nepal. It's a sanctuary where deep, deep forest, where on the ground they pointed out the paw prints of tigers, and peacocks were in the trees. And we're on this elephant, and we've gone through these rivers and all over the place, and we're approaching this tree in front of us. It's a young sapling, maybe, I don't know, 8-10 feet tall, but skinny. And you know, like when you bowl, your body kind of wants to steer this way or that. I'm going, oh my gosh, you know, we're going headed right to it. The elephant, with its trunk, picked up this tree as if it were a toothpick and tossed it aside. Talk about remover of obstacles, which Ganesha is, you know, that's the Hindu deity that is associated with that capacity. But whatever we come from, it's that innate divine capacity that's sacred that we have within us, each and every one of us. And that reminder of it is, this whole call is just so full of love and inspiration. Every time it's the best. And again, it's the best again today. So just wanted to share that reminder on this day of resurrection and rising, and how much for all of us, the lineage, what we've inherited, the principles, but most importantly, each other and the love that's still living here in our hearts for each other and us as a collective, like a galaxy on Earth, shining this out for the benefit of all beings. So I just, like so many of us, all of us, gratitude, grace, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Esther.
Yes, thank you. I thought you were going to say something more real, Rishi. Thank you, Esther. I love your passion. I love how you always bring something so beautiful and profound to the call. Cornelia, are we ready? I can't hear you, Esther. I'm sorry. We are muted.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Jaina, we are ready. We can go in breakout rooms. I know it's really late. We are already more than 2 hours on the call, but whoever feels like they want to share and express what happens and speak about it and share their, I have actually a question for you. We have heard a few stories today where people shared how love has guided them to make decisions, for example, to go to Nepal, to do Panchakarma, to go to India, or even do the 3-year course or whatever it might have been. And they were all guided from their heart. And my question is, what is love guiding you to do? Is there anything in your heart that you feel that you need to do, maybe today, like Marisa, to be the Easter bunny for her nieces, or doing something bigger? And if you want to share that or anything that touched you today on this call. And I open up the rooms. If you need to leave now, we wish you really great, if you're celebrating Easter, then a great Easter weekend. And whatever you are celebrating, just a Sunday, day of rest. And we all see you again next Sunday, same time, for another powerful call. Gina, do we have anything else? And I'm opening up the rooms.
I think we should unmute and say, I love you and I'm with you. Would
Oh,
that be
yeah.
okay?
Sorry. Okay, so everyone unmute yourself. And then let's say our usual closing. I love you. And I'm with you.
And I'm with you. Love you, Jana. Love you, Cornelia. Love you, Sangeeta. Love you, Roma Rishi. Love you, Tara. Love you, Andrea L.
And I'm with
Rieta. Love you, Robin. Love you, Linda. Love you, Bobby. Love you, Patricia. Love you, Dr. Giovanni. Love you, Esther Francis.
Love you.
Mel. Jill. Marietta. Amanda. Love you, Lenora. Love you, Harvey. Love you, Patty. Love you, Vinod. Love
So it looks like
I opened
Cornelia,
up all the rooms, and so you can join the call, and we stop the recording.